The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Fellow citizens, following the sequence of events, Uganda seems to be at political crossroads.
I'm not a servant of anybody.
Madam, I know the law.
As such, Alternative Digital brings you the Interface Show with retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besuje.
Let's keep on the same page on Alternative Digitalk.
As he gives you the alternatives on the transition question, rule of law, human rights and freedom, youth inclusion in governance, economic stagnation, as he confirms.
I'll be always here Saturday from 10 a.m. in the morning. Be there.
Don't miss the live discussion on the Alternative Uganda, Digitalk TV Facebook pages, and the Alternative Uganda YouTube channel.
You have got to get up pretty early to go do something. We are the Alternative Digitalk. With our mobile studios, we are redefining TV presentation just as technology is setting the pace. We are blending our approach with fresh, perspectively designed breakfast show, The Mighty Drive, informative and entertainment show, exclusive and live interviews.
We President Museveni wadde juzi namulaba apima akawunga kilo 2 tasobola kalya nini bwaba alya kilo 5 weyanema okuliisa eggwanga ne bwe limundekera.
Njagala kwebaza the Alternative Digitalk etuwadde kano ka Mighty Drive era n'abatuwuliriza bonna abali ku mikutu njagala basaba mugendo maaso n'okuwuliriza.
All given to you just a click away on your phone, tablet, laptop and smart TVs as we are streaming live on our social media platforms, on the road and on the go. We are the Alternative Digitalk.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Yes, 3 minutes past, in fact, it's 4 minutes past 7 a.m. A very, very good morning and a warm welcome to the Mighty Drive Show. My name is Edgar Matthew Karuhanga on behalf of Digitalk TV from wherever you're tuned in from. A very, very, very good morning. Welcome aboard. It is the 13th day of September 2022. We are into the last quarter of the year. That is something I reiterate many times here, and that means the year is moving fast forward, very, very fast. We've just entered 2022. I remember us celebrating the entrance of this particular year, but it's already 9 months down the road. That means if a woman were to be pregnant today, they would actually have already given birth. That means 9 months already done. So what have you done for yourself in this particular year, and are there things that you're looking forward to doing before the year comes to an end? I believe you should be able to do everything you want to do as soon as possible. Mwebale nnyo mwena abatwekumiddeko enkya y'olunaku olwaleero. Amanya nze Edgar Matthew Karuhanga omuweereza wo olunaku olwaleero ku lunaku luno olwokubiri ennaku z'omwezi 13 omwezi gwa September omwaka gwa 2022. Amawulire tulina mangi agatambula okuva eyo gye muli n'eno gye tuli yonna. Amawulire tulina mangi nnyo naye nga tetunnabagayingiramu. Nsaba nsooke mbawe ku kakwoti k'olunaku olwaleero mwabali twegese obwenyi olunaku lwaleero. Kano kava omwami bamuyita Hillary bamulinde agamba, if you find yourself in a very dark place, the best thing to do is to hang in there and let the hours do their thing. Sometimes only time can heal the wounds. Akugambye nti weesanga ng'oli mu kaseera akazibu ne weewunya ki ekigenda mu maaso, oluusi oweewangamu akadde kubanga the end of the day akadde ke kasinga okubanga kagugula ebizibu bye tuba tulina obanga kawonya ebiwundu bye tuba tufunye. So akugambye, if you find yourself in a very dark place, the best thing to do is to hang in there and let the hours do their thing. Sometimes only time can heal the wounds. So where would they? Don't be too hard on yourself. Yes, sometimes it may not work out. Oftentimes it may work out. But if it does not work out, it is okay to give yourself some time in case you've been heartbroken, you have had a business that has failed, you've been criticized, and many times the things you go through. Give yourself time because time actually ultimately heals every wound. Akakakwoti ke k'olunaku olwaleero nga kava ew'omwami gwe bayita Hillary bamulinde. Tugendeko mu mawulire agaade gatambula mu ggwanga ne wabweru w'eggwanga. Olunaku lw'eggulo twalabye ebifaananyi ebyafulumya ssaawa zaadde nga 11 ez'akawungeezi excuse me, ssaawa nga 11 ez'akawungeezi ng'omwami William Samoei Ruto president elect w'eggwanga lino erya Kenya ng'amiitinga ne Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Ebifaananyi ebyo byawuniikiriza ensi because a few years ago you would think these people are mountains and they will never meet. Naye nali nakyogerako wano watukyalina mu kalulu ka Kenya ne mbagamba nti Abannakenya balina a certain style of democracy gye bayolesezza for a time now, and ekifaananyi mutandise okubiraba ebyo nga omwami William Samoei Ruto nga meetinga President Uhuru Kenyatta olunaku lw'eggulo wali mu State House Kenya we babadde yameetinze ne mukyala we yennyini yabadde naye bonna ne bameetinga ne bagezaako okubanga beewa tour around State House Kenya. Remember today olunaku olwali tugenda kubanga tu-expectinga Kenya okugenda wali erayize president waayo omujja omwami William Samoei Ruto. Yawangula akalulu recently we yakuba omwami Raila Amolo Odinga, yamukubisa olululu obwali lusoba mu mitwalo 2 ekikulaga muno race eno teyali nyangu nnyo. Naye William Ruto ono wawangula obuyinza yakakasa nti Kenya egenda kuba yeegatta wamu, togenda kulaba njawukana mu buweereza, era n'akakasa nti nno abakyali bumu. Kino kiraze kyalagiddwa olunaku lw'eggulo omwami William Ruto we yakutte mu ngalo za Uhuru Kenyatta ne basobola okuba nga batambula the different places in the State House basobola okulaga. Waliwo ebifaananyi nno bingi singa producer asobola okubibafunira ne mubiraba mpola mpola nga omwami ono William Samoei Ruto ne Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta nga basobola okuba nga beegwa mu kafuba in that particular regard. Tuveeko kwawo olunaku lw'eggulo era amawulire mangi agasasamaza ensi wadde tunagakakasa bulungi ku expressway. Waliyo abagambye nti nno convoy ya president yatomedde ababodaboda 3. Ndoza video eyo mwade mugiraba ng'ebunye emitindo egy'enjawulo, omutimbagano gwonna ku social media platforms ez'enjawulo. Bano baadde balagira ddala nti bali mu kunyolwa naye nga bakakasa nti nno convoy ya president Yoweri Kaguta Museveni yakoze ebintu bino. Naye tetunabafuna bujulizi bwonna bulaga nti convoy ya president ye yatomedde abantu bano, naye yabadde akwata akatambi ye akakasizza nti no convoy ya president yabadde eva e Kampala ng'edda ku side ziri ez'Entebbe ye yasobodde okuba ng'etomera ababoda bano. Babalese nga bali mu mbeera etaawa because badde balaba bali wansi bonna nga embeera si nnungi nnyo in that particular regard. Tetunabakakasa butuufu bwa mawulire gano gennyini, naye bwe tunaba tugakakasizza tujja kuba tubabuulira kiki ekigenda mu maaso. Then olunaku lw'eggulo Toro ya celebrating the coronation ya King Oyo oba omukama Oyo Kabamba Iguru Rukidi the 4th. Olunaku lw'eggulo ba celebrating emyaka 27 ng'ali ku Namulondo y'abajjajjaabe. Omwana ono mujjukira nti yakwata obuyinza omwaka gwali gwa 1995. That is when the Toro monarchy was actually restored in that particular regard. So 27 years down the road, King Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru, one of the youngest kings all over the the world yasobodde okubanga akwata yatusobodde okubanga aweza emyaka 27 ng'ali ku namulondo y'abajjajjaabe. Celebrations zakoleddwa wali mu Karuzika Palace obwakabaka bwa Fort Portal obwa Toro, that right there in Fort Portal, we babadde omwami ono Rukidi nga celebrating emyaka 27 nga akulembera Toro. Bantu bangi bayogedde bingi era basobodde okubanga bamuwaana, era omulabirizi wa Toro Diocese Right Reverend Father Ruben Kisembo ye yasobodde okubanga officiating that particular event olunaku lw'eggulo, wadde baataataganyiziddwamu enkuba namutikwa eyagudde in that part of the region. So olunaku lw'eggulo twalabye nga oyo Nyimba Kabamba Igulu celebrating emyaka 27 ng'ali ku namulondo y'abajjajjaabe. Kino kijja nga omwami ono yafunye his first nephew era nga muganda we Princess Komuntale yasobodde okubanga naye abeera wali yasobodde okubanga azaala omwana, I think yabadde wiiki eweddeeyo. So Fort Portal and the entire Toro kingdom still celebrates and commemorates His Highness oyo Nyimba Kabamba Igulu Rukidi the fourth, omwami oyo asobodde okubanga akulembera for Toro for a long time now. So congratulations to the the people of Toro and the kingdom of Toro for actually making this a milestone. Jukirawo mu kifaananyi ekyo mulabye Pastor Bujingo ne mukyala we baali ne oyo Nyimba Kabamba Igulu. Nga tuvuddeko kaawo, NSSF yalaunchinze amayumba wiiki eyewedde, amayumba bannayuganda ge bagenda okubanga basobola okwettanira nga basulangamu zino. Project eno yalaunchingidwa ewali Rubowa ng'ekulembeddwamu Kabwejumbira yennyini Ssaabalwanyi Yoweri Kaguta Tibuhaburwa Museveni ye yagenze wali na commissioninga amayumba gano agazimbiddwa NSSF. Kyuka NSSF ye National Social Security Fund, an entity esavingira bannayuganda ensimbi zaabwe, era at the end of the day nezibaddiza nga bamaze okubanga bakola emirimu gyabwe nga basavinga eggwanga lino. So NSSF ekwata ssente z'ejja mu bannayuganda nesobola okubanga ezitwala wali for investment, era one of the investments ze balaze olunaku lwaleero ye investment z'amayumba gano. Amayumba gano gatudde ku acres 600 gasalira ddala okuva eruwa paka Temangalo. Amayumba ago goolaba garenjinga okuva ku mitwalo 15 egya dola paka ku mitwalo 8 egya dola. So omuntu yenna ayagala okubanga asula mu nyumba zino ya feel free okubanga osobola okupurchasing, and I think there is a system that has been put in place to ensure that the people who are serving with NSSF have given priority in terms of who takes these particular housing infrastructures. So wetwogerera nga yes bannayuganda ne National Social Security Fund bagudde mu bintu, katulinde tulabe bannayuganda bameka basobola okusobola ennyumba z'emitwalo 15 kuba obalamu emitwalo 15 ziringa si milioni nga 5 awo wewatyo emitwalo 15 egya dola zibeera ssente nnyingi, milioni 4 awo wewatyo. So ezo ssente z'ogenda okubanga osobola okufunirako ennyumba zino gwayagala okubanga obeera mu estate eno. Walina ne estate ez'enjawulo Wakiso, Ekyanja ne Temangalo nga wembagambye, era buli muntu yenna ayagala okubanga yefunira ennyumba. NSSF yamaze dda okubanga ezimba amayumba gammwe, mwe bamufuna mpola, abaakolamu mwenna musobola okugenda ne munoonya engeri gye mugenda okusobola okubanga mwefuniramu housing in that particular regard. Ndowooza tuvuddeko kaawo tugendeko wali mu Democratic Party. Jjukira gye tuvuddeko emabega, Democratic Party yasala oba oludda oba yasayininga katugambe endagaano ne National Resistance Movement oba ne government okubanga bakolera wamu mu nsonga ez'enjawulo. Era twalaba nga President General w'ekibiina kino omwami Norbert Mao yafuulibwa Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Kati mu ngeri eyo bana-DP beekubidde omulanga mu kooti nga bagamba omwami ono yatunda ekibiina kyabwe mu ngeri ey'amankwetu. Webakakasa bannayuganda nga bagamba Norbert Mao bamututte mu mbuga z'amateeka okubanga ekibiina kino alina okubanga akita obanga alekulira okuba president. Jjukira abantu bangi abaava mu Democratic Party eyo nga bakulembeddwa mu Dr. Lulu Mebayiga ono nno MP era nga representing ekibiina kya Democratic Party baavaayo ne balaga obumulu bwabwe nga bagamba nti ekintu ekyakolebwa Norbert Mao tekyali mu mateeka era banna-DP bangi tebakikkiririzaamu. Wadde nga bino byogeddwa ye Norbert Mao akyayimiridde ng'agamba tewali kyeyakola nga kya bumenyi bw'amateeka, buli kimu kyeyakola yakikolera mu mateeka gennyini aga Democratic Party n'amateeka agafuga ensi eno. Yagamba tannatunda kibiina nga abantu abasinga bwe babibungeesa, nedda tannaba kubanga akitunda, naye kye yakola kwe kusayininga endagaano n'abalaba nga bakolagana ne gavumenti oba ne NRM mu bintu eby'enjawulo. Abantu bangi mu Uganda muno tebakkiriza nti no opposition esobola okuba ng'ekwatagana ne ruling government, naye Norbert Mao abadde ayagala akyuse trajectory eno atandika okuba nga maybe baleetawo embeera enjerufu oba basobole okuba nga bakwatagana as the opposition of Uganda at the end of the day. So Norbert Mao agenda kubanga asamoningibwa okubanga abiwoza obanga abitebya mu siga eddamuzi wali mu kooti yennyini lyakulembera nga minisita asobole okubanga anyumya engeri gye yatundamu oba engeri gye yakwata ekibiina ky'abannaabwe n'agenda n'akikozesa endagaano n'ekibiina ekirala nga bo bagamba tebaategeerezebwa. So tujja kuba tubabuulira biki ebigenda mu maaso mu ggwanga mu Democratic Party. Tujja kuba tubabuulira wadde nga bantu bangi bagamba ono ne Ssaabawandiisi Gerald Siranda basobola okuba nga abalina ekibiina kino gye bakitwala mu mbeera etaali nnuŋŋamu bulungi. Tuveeko kaawo kanjogereko ku mukyala gwe bayita Ingrid Turinawe. Erinnya lye wooliwulira ojjukira walk to work protests, ojjukira omukyala abadde omumalirivu nnyo okuba nga alwanyisa gavumenti eno, naye according to Nile Post eno nno nga news outlet wano mu ggwanga yafulumiza amawulire olunaku lw'eggulu ageewunyisiza nti omukyalo ono Ingrid Turinawe alabika nga atandise okuba nga crossinga okwegatta ku National Resistance Movement. Jjukira omukyalo ono yava mu FDC oba ya expellingwa mu FDC mu mwaka gwa 2021. Yayimirira nga we baamuuma kaadi ya FDC n'ayimirira nga independent okuba nga avuganya muna NRM ne muna FDC munne. So bamukuba akalulu kibadde kigambibwa nti okumala akaseera kawanvu abadde takyali in connections ne FDC ng'abalanga especially Secretary General Nandala Mafaabi ng'amulanga okuba nga yamugoba mu mbeera etaali nnungamu bulungi. So mu that particular regard omukyalo ono twafunye amawulire agalaga nti no National Resistance Movement ng'ekulembeddwamu Yoweri Kaguta Tibuhaburwa Museveni batandise okuba nga bamwogeza oba boogerezeganya naye okulaba nga asobola okuba nga abeegattako. Kino guno si gwe mulundi ogugenda okuba ogusoose nga tulaba abantu ab'enjawulo abava mu opposition nga beegatta ku gavumenti eri mu buyinza kubanga tubirabye omuli Norbert Mao wembadde nakwogerako essaawa zino n'abantu ab'enjawulo tubalaba ennyo nga bakrossinga okuva mu opposition okwegatta mu ruling government. So katulinde tulabe kinaatuukirira, naye omanyi mu Uganda kasita batandika okuba nga babungeesa ebigambo oluusi olugambo olutambula lutera okubeerako gye lusteminga oba lubeera n'emirandira awantu awamu oba awalala. Ye mutabani wa Nadduli yasingisiddwa omusango, in fact yakkiriza omusango ogw'okuba nga asosola mu mawanga omuzungu kyatera okuyita sectarianism. Yes, that's how they call it, sectarianism. Omwami ono Nadduli, mutabani wa Nadduli yachargingibwa ng'agamba mbuno yafulumya ebigambo, waliwo aka clip akafuluma ng'ayogera ebigambo ebyali biraga obusosoze mu mawanga. So mutabani wa Nadduli ono oyo gwe mulaba mu kifaananyi ekyo yasingisiddwa omusango guno era tugenda kuba tulinda ensala ki gye banaaba muwadde kubanga ye yakkiriza omusango guno. Ono nno mutabani w'omusajja yalwanirira eggwanga lino Abdul Nadduli era musajja abadde musaale nnyo okwogera ku biki ebigenda mu maaso mu ggwanga nangeri ki Uganda gy'esobola okuba ng'etereera. So mutabani we mu lulimi olw'abavubuka tugamba mbu yaziguddemu, naye katulinde tulabe how it will actually work out in that particular regard. God. Ye emisango ejaggulwako omwami Segirinya ejokuincitinga violence nozo mujjukira omwaka ogwedde omwezi gwali gwa kusatu. Segirinya ono yaggulwako emisango ejokukuma omuliro mu bantu era bamutwala wali mu Buganda Road Court. Otwogerera nga je emisango gino kooti yagimwejerezedda oba yajerezeddwa nga bagamba nti omwami ono teyalina musango gwonna era gavumenti oba bamuwabaabira bafailinga oba balemererwa okubanga baproducing obujulizi obwali bupiininga Segirinya ono. So olunaku lweggulo Buganda Road Court yafulumiza ekiwandiiko ng'eragira ddala nti n'omwami gwe bayita Segirinya Muhammad yasobodde okubanga yejjerezebwa ku misango egyali gimuguddwako egy'okukuma omuliro mu bantu. Omwami ono Segirinya twogerera ng'amaze emyezi 11 ng'ali mabega wa mitayimbwa. In fact guweza omwaka mulamba ng'ali mabega wa mitayimbwa ng'alina emisango emirala egya muggulwako mu September w'omwaka oguwedde omwali okubanga atta bamuteekako omusango gwa murder, attempted murder, terrorism and abating terrorism. Emisango gino minene nnyo era twogera ng'akyali ku rimanda ne mubaka munne ow'Emakindye West Constituency Alan Sewanyana. Bano nno bamaze akaseera kangi mabega w'emitayimbwa era tujjukira bayimbulwako kooti naye bannamagye ne babakwata ne babazaayo mu kaguli nga bagamba muno time tennaba kubanga etuuka abaami bano okubanga bafuluma mu komera. So katulinde tujja kuba tubabuulira biki ebinaba bigenda mu maaso mu misango egyo naye at least gumu ogwa inciting violence eri omwami ono Segirinya gwo gwamujjerezeddwako. Ndowooza tumalirize ne stories ez'enjawulo. N'omwami ono gwe nabawaddeko story egyo Sipapa yakwatibwa nga bamulanga okuba nga yabba sente nnyingi okuva eri Omusudani. Sente zaali mu $42 $49 bamugulako emisango bagamba yabba ebbunga eyo. Naye according to Mr. Fred Enanga ayogerera poliisi ya kuno olunaku lweggulo yeewuunyisiza eggwanga we yagambye mbuno fingerprints z'omwami ono zisangiddwa mu bifo 12 ebyenjawulo mu Kampala. Mu bifo bino mulimu Ebugoloobi, Entinda, Kabalagala, Jinja Road n'Ekiwatule n'ebifo ebyenjawulo nga bagamba nti omwami ono abadde si mwerufu bulungi nga bagamba crime scenes ez'enjawulo DNA ye oba ne fingerprints ze zasangiddwako. Gino emisango giteeberezebwa okuba nga jazzibwa okuva mu mwaka gwa 2014. So okumala emyaka 8 omwami ono DNA ebadde ejja etracingibwa ku crime scenes ez'enjawulo. So kirabikanga poliisi esobola okuba nga eggulako omwami Sipapa emisango emirala. Ekyo kiraga mbuno bannange yamwalula esiridde. Omwami ono Sipapa mumujjukira okubanga yatambuzanga nnyo ensimbi n'asobola okuba nga alaga bannayuganda nti sente alina nnyingi, amalala go gaali mangi in the air. Naye wetwogerera nga kati ali humble. Jjukira ekyamukwasa nga wembagambye kubba ku munnansi w'e Sudan $42 ejja dola ne sente ezigwamu. Sente nnyingi nnyo zikunukkiriza okuba nga ziwera I think akawumbi kamu n'ekitundu. So bye bigenda mu maaso eri Sipapa bagamba ennaku zino yavudde mu ntamu n'agwa mu muliro kubanga ekintu kirabika kiye kimutabuseeko omwami Sipapa. Ndowooza gavumenti ye Tanzania nga tufulumyemukko wabweru w'eggwanga tuddukeko wabweru w'eggwanga mu ddakiika ntono nnyo. Gavumenti ye Tanzania yafulumiza ekiwandiiko ng'eraga nti nno game messages oba abantu ab'ekikulu ekimu abeeyagala nti kino ekintu tekigenda kubanga tekigenda kukkirizibwa mu ggwanga lino erya Tanzania. Jjukira abantu b'enjawulo bavuddeyo nga bakola activism okulaga nti nno abantu nga beeyagala nga bakikula kimu nga bubalaga si kibi nnyo. Bino tubirabye nnyo mu mawanga ag'enjawulo omuli amawanga nga Bungereza, amawanga nga America agatandise okuba nga galigolizinga ebisiyaga ate nga galigolizinga kye bayita same-sex marriages. Yo gavumenti ye Tanzania yagambye bino temugenda kubanga mubitunyumiza tetubyagala era yenna anaakwatibwa ng'ali mu kikolwa kino agenda kubanga akangavulwa ng'amateeka we galagira. Ono nno bano muno si be basoose okuba nga balaga obutali bumativu eri ekikolwa kino nga twalaba ne Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta wa Kenya ng'avaayo ng'akyogerako ng'agamba kino tekisobola kukkirizibwa mu culture y'Abannakenya, ne omwami Yoweri Kaguta Museveni wano mu ggwanga yavaayo n'alaga obutali bumativu ng'agamba mu bigambo yakozesa ekigambo it's disgusting. So abantu bano badde bagezaako okuba nga advocating the rights zaabwe nga bagamba si kibi okubanga omuntu ayagala mu ngeri gy'ayagalamu, naye abantu abasinga bagamba mbu nooba corrupting standards z'eggwanga era tebagenda kubanga bakikkiriza. So same sex marriages ezo zo wali mu ggwanga zo zaagaaniddwa mu ggwanga erya Tanzania. Ndooza naye mu mawulire amalala ge tulinawo King Charles naye addressinze parliament y'e Bungereza ono nno ye yakatuuzibwa ku Namulondo eyali eya maama we Queen Elizabeth owookubiri yafa wiiki ewedde ku lunaku lwali lwakuna omukyalo ono lwe yava mu bulamu bw'ensi eno. So King Charles yabadde addressingako British Parliament nga balinda okuba nga baziika n'abakyala omukyala Elizabeth owookubiri eyava mu bulamu bw'ensi nga yasobola okuba nga akulembera eggwanga lino okumala emyaka 7 bweddu 70 years. She was the reigning monarch of Great Britain and the United Kingdom. Ndooza tumalize stories ezo. Amawulire gabeera mangi, waliwo abakwatiddwa e Butebe eyo ba district officials 5 abakola ku district baade ba operating essomero nga lirya milioni 3 buli mwaka naye ng'essomero lino teribaddewo. So okumala emyaka nga 3 bano abasajja badde bali mu kuzannyira mu ssente za gavumenti era bakwatiddwa nga bakulemberwamu RDC eyabakutte ne poliisi y'e Butebo yes Butebo district bo bakwatiddwa already. Mu mawulire amalala waliyo omwana omwe yafudde n'abalala 5 ne bafuna injuries eyo mu Northern Uganda nga bagambibwa okuba nga bazannyidde ku grenades zino ezaali zaalekebwa I think ku lutalo mulumanyi olwali mu Northern Uganda eyo waliyo fragments ne byetutera okuyita grenades ebibadde bigenda mu maaso eyo nga tewali abikwatako. So abaana baadde babizannyirako olunaku lw'eggulo bo ne bafiira, omwana omu yafiiriddewo 5 bavuddewo n'ebisago. Ndooza geega amawulire ge tulinawo. Computer Misuse Act yamaze dde okuba nga eyisibwa Parliament nakuno tebagenda kukkiriza kubanga oyogera ku kintu kyonna ekiri opostinga ebifaananyi by'abamayina opostinga ekifaananyi ky'omuntu nga tomubuuzizaako gonna gigenda kubeera misango era kasita onaakwatibwa gijja kuba gikukka mu V. Yes bannange ndooza katukomaawo mu baakwatiddwa bali be mbagambye ababadde mu Butebo district bano abadde batambuza essomero eryadde teririiwo kuliko Mrs. Jacinta Ikesa, kuliko Teopista Akia n'omwami bamuyita Bernard Okuwo abo bennyini be baakwatiddwa. Mu abali ebuwalabu ndooza last week government yafulumya directions ge bakakasa nti nno mugenda kubanga musobola okufuna waliwo mugenda okugenda nga mufuna obuyambi mu abagala okudda e Uganda basobole okubanga babazza era bakakasa nti abantu ab'enjawulo abaali bakwatibwa mu makomera ge UAE batandika okubanga bateebwa bagenda kuba baddizibwa wano ku ttaka. Bannange geega amawulire ge tulinawo enkya y'olunaku olwaleero eddakiika 27 ze zaakayita ku ssaawa emu ey'okumakya. Tugenda kuba tuwummulamu wetukomawo tugenda kwogera ku nsonga bannayuganda bangi gye bawulira gye bayita mental health. Mental health is state of the mind of a human being. Are we mentally healthy? A worrying statistic that was published by recently showed by New Vision showed that 14% of Ugandans are mentally unstable. What does this mean? And of course we have people who are doing solutions. We have young people who are writing books that are going to be helping in reducing the mental health challenges that Ugandans face. That and much more is what you should expect after this short commercial break. My name is Edgar Matthew Karuhanga. Enjoy the morning.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Fellow citizens, following the sequence of events, Uganda seems to be at political crossroads.
I'm not a servant of anybody.
Madam, I know the law.
As such, Alternative Digitalk brings you the Interface Show with retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besuje.
Let's keep on the same page on Alternative Digitalk,
As he gives you the alternatives on the transition question, rule of law, human rights and freedom, youth inclusion in governance, economic stagnation, as he confirms.
I'll be always here Saturday from 10 a.m. in the morning. Be there.
Don't miss the live discussion on the Alternative Uganda, Digitalk TV Facebook pages, and the Alternative Uganda YouTube channel.
You have got to get up pretty early to go do something. We are the Alternative Digitalk. With our mobile studios, we are redefining TV presentation just as technology is setting the pace. We are blending our approach with fresh, perspectively designed breakfast show, The Mighty Drive, informative and entertainment show, exclusive and live interviews.
We President Museveni wadde juzi namulaba apima akawunga kilo 2 tasobola kalya nini bwaba alya kilo 5 oyanema okuliisa eggwanga ne bwe limundekera.
Njagala kwebaza the Alternative Digitalk etuwadde kano ka Mighty Drive era n'abatuwuliriza bonna abali ku mikutu njagala basaba mugendo maaso n'okuwuliriza.
All given to you just a click away on your phone, tablet, laptop, and smart TVs. As we are streaming live on our social media platforms, on the road and on the go. We are the Alternative Digitalk.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Amasha amalungi abatukereddeko ku mpewo zaffe za the Alternative Digital kamanya Farida Bikobere. It is a Tuesday. I am really happy because we are going to talk about mental health. Mental health sawa eno esinze mu bavubuka bali mu committing a suicide, they're getting stressed. We are going to look at the causes of mental health. How can someone overcome the mental health? Why you would need therapy? Because abantu ambaloza therapy bya bazungu. Anza ogenda mu therapy nzazo omundugavu byatandika dio kujja wanene waffe. So tugenda kubanga ate bana itusosotola mental health. Ita mkwano gwo kona ku muganda wo abalina stress, bana stress causes mental health. Obera olina ebanja loan ya bank nge kusuza ku butache, before you know it mkwano ngate ofunye obuzibu mentally. So mwanguweko tugenda kubanga ate twogera mpolampola. I have a student, an engineering student from Makerere University, but he is an author, so yawandika katabo akakwatagana ku mental health bakaita seasons. Go look out for it. Ate munange wefunire amagezi bagamba osoma when you go read, you get knowledge. But what you otasomye n'okitegeera otya. Tulekerawo okulinda abantu tugamba obugambi. Mental health check, go and look out for knowledge. That is how you'll be able to even discuss among your friends. It is always good. It feels good to discuss things that you know or that you have an idea about. Never obeera mu group bano ba discussing byogerako tobimanyi yadde. Or was I know right. So everyone will be wondering, what do you know exactly? Or was I know right? So naye twetanire nnyo okusoma, twetanire nnyo okunoonya ate okumanya abanna embeera mbi obudde bunyogoga abali mu kuva ewaka ennaku zino embeera ekyukakyuka. It is always important you carry a sweater, a jacket, a trench coat. Munnanga ate oleme kusumbuuzibwa ng'oli mu tawuni eyo abalina allergies ene season ate teba favoringa bulungi nnyo, so mutwesabike tubeere ate becoming not active at work because of the coldness. So bamikwano tukaringa ebina tukipinga nga tuli warm. Just in a minute weather ekyuka enkuba ate netonya, so mbakubiriza we carry those things that are going to keep us warm. You can even carry a bottle of tea for as long as omanyi togenda sobola kufuna kachayi ko kaparking okuva ewaka. Kachayi ko you a flask of one cup, you can pack it and go with it at work. Olema ate kubeera annyo nga toli active olw'okuba obudde bunyogoga olina allergies or yasmula, it is going to make the whole situation worse. Our quote of the day is mental health relapse happens. It doesn't mean all your healing is thrown away. Accept what comes up and remember allowing yourself to feel even the uncomfortable things. It is part of the process. A relapse is owulira leero wawonye, you have come out of the whole situation. Ne wabeerawo ka trigger katini bwe kati. No dayo ku zero. That is what they call a relapse. But when you relapse, don't give up, because those relapses happen. Tubiraba ne kuba drug addicts abakivuddeko shinafuna ka stress katono naddayo aba relapses. Naye the whole deal is don't give up. Good morning, Edgar.
Good morning. How are you, Farida?
I'm good.
Whether it's just a mindset.
No, it isn't. It isn't a mindset. It isn't.
You people put a lot of importance to those things when they don't see it.
No, we do not put a lot of importance to them. But weather changes are there, so we cannot so we cannot forego it. And there are people that are not comfortable with cold weather. Those people who have sinuses or have allergies that are not really comfortable with cold weather. So it is important to, instead of okubango mirror next every hour after an hour, because you want to keep in line or bedem office atosumbu abano, it is better you carry a cup of hot water. So because you are feeling warm, togenda kufuna congested nose, ngeberenga tosobola kussa. Naba asthma, by the way, no cold weather teba favoring yadde.
Okay, one of the stories we were talking about yesterday, omukyala Anita Monk, okubanga atisibwa kya confirmingidwa nti akulira security team ye yabuzeewo.
Kituufu nakyo.
Do you have a comment on that before we delve into the mental health story?
I do not want to think nti akulira security Anita Monk yabuzeewo because of the threats that are being thrown to Anita.
Yabuzeewo ati.
It could be threats that are within. Those could be inside threats.
What do you mean inside threats?
They're not outside threats like nga bwe twalaba abata Chirumira. Those are inside threats.
But those are inside threats, the ones that kill Chirumira.
Omuntu ali mu kumuthreateninga maybe they were in contact. This person who has gone away, his life might be threatened. Nti maybe amanyi bingi nnyo, so he is a target. So he gets off. Oba I don't want to give the other side of the story.
You give the other side of the story.
But we are believing that the threats are not coming from outside, and I really want to believe Anita knows everything that is happening. Right. Even when the threats are there, she knows who is threatening her life.
Okay, lastly, I also want to pick your mind on Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. Yesterday, they were seen meeting, handshaking. These gentlemen have not been talking for a long time, but we saw a casuality. We saw an outgoing president with an incoming president. Isn't that a dream come true?
Hi, waffe wano bachiri.
And Chiranga isn't it a dream come true? Wasn't Chamanga Chirote? I'm imagining
Kenya,
William and Uhuru, they are handshaking, the first ladies are walking together. Alimumulaga State House nti kati wano ogenda okusulanga wano osobola okunywera omwenge nga wembadde nkunywera. Do you get the bigger picture of what it speaks of the politics of Kenya?
Yeah.
Is there something we can learn?
There is, but I really want to believe kuongereza ku point y'omukulu Odaka twali wanena tugamba nti even if we are to learn something tetunatuukawo we tulina okuyigira nti omwana wa P3 osobola omujjawo n'asoma P5 n'agiyita bulungi kati ate ffe tuba tukyali mu baby class kati wa baby class omuwa ebibuzo bya P5 abatabikola bulungi abatabimanyi tabimanyi amanyi kubala from 1 to 10 so kati biri ebya what is science name the body parts of a fly abatabimanyi kati fe stage je tulimu ne wetunaba twagala nnyo copy nga bali tetunatuukawo nti abantu waneeno mu Uganda politics wafe ajude blackmail ajude hate nti even you see why everyone is commenting about Zake they believe it because I am in opposition I shouldn't be relating with anyone that is in the ruling party so
it's called politics of radicalism.
Yes, so it is really hard for us to pick a point from Kenya tukyali wala nnyo okubeera nga ate tujiga ate ne tuteeka mu
abavubuka bo bapicking the point abakulu bone batagipikinga because I know sooner or later some leaders will go then there will be new leaders to come.
Nanti kati bwe mubeera mu family ewammwe waka nga tata wammwe atulugunya maama temukopa neighbor mukopa kiri waka because when mmala obudde obungi ye taata ono gwe musiba mulaba yatulugunya maama era abamu bawulira bakidefendinga nze maama wange nga bamukubanga nga teyanoba so because yakulala kyekyo amanyi kyekituufu naiba ne bwaba yali akuza omwana maama amutiitibya omukazi we amwagala nnyo ono omwana tasobola kiraba kiri alaba kino taata kyakola because he gwasiiba naye he believes most of us believe our fathers are our heroes so byonna byakola bituufu.
Alright, eddakiika ziri ana ze zaakayita ku ssaawa emu ey'okumakya negatiddwako omwami bamuyita Tusiimukye Daniel. He is a mental health activist, he is an author, he is a poet, and he has written a new book. It's called Seasons, and akatabo talking about mental health, about how we can actually overcome mental health using the genre of art. Ngenda kuba mu kuintroducing na maasawo naye akatabo kakano abaana bato bavubuka abawandiisa obutabo ku myaka gyabwe.
Kalina ne volume ntono tetiisa.
Yes, amayawa na Uganda batya n'okusoma ebitabo. So this book has been authored by a gentleman, and there is Daniel Tusiimukye, there is Natasha Puja, there is Diego Mwesigwa, there is Nabila Kayiwa, there is Joyce Nalubega, and there is Liberty Muhereza. These are the authors of these books that are talking about mental health. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
You look smart.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. It's my pleasure, and I'm really glad being here today. Thank you very much for hosting me to talk about this topic of today, youth in mental health awareness, and majorly to also talk about our book as my team Fragments.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually want to make it clear. We wrote this book, the six of us.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an input from all of us. We sat down and had the idea of how about we talk about mental health.
Okay.
Yeah, because mental health is one of the things, maybe it's one of the situations that we are not really looking at most. Yeah, when you look at maybe the allocation of the national budget, there is it's maybe less than 1% that's being put to mental health. Yet we are having.
If there is even, I don't even remember an allocation for mental health.
Yes.
Do we even know mental health? That's where I want to actually come from. There is a worrying statistic that was published that 14 million Ugandans are having mental health challenges. That statistic, even up to today, I don't know how to make sense of it. But before we delve into that discussion, I want you to first paint a picture for our viewer out there. Who you are as an individual, who is Tusiimukye Daniel, and for anybody who wants to just know more about you before we delve into the discussion, who are you?
Thank you very much. Once again, I want to thank you all for inviting me. I thank the team at Digitalk TV for inviting me to this the Mighty Drive talk show.
You're welcome.
My name is Daniel Tusiimukye. I'm an engineering student at Makerere University. I'm going to my 3rd year. I'm doing mechanical engineering. I'm an author of 3 books, this being my 3rd book. My first book was a poetry collection also, titled Golden Arrow. Yeah, it's really one good book that has even enabled me being here today. Being here today is because of that book which I wrote in my senior 6th vacation, but then it has really helped me a lot to better myself, to become a public speaker, to become an activist for the youth. And I double as the Deputy Finance Secretary of the Makerere Engineering Society, and I'm the country ambassador of the African Writers Roundtable.
Wow.
I also work with as a columnist with the Scholar Media Africa in Nairobi.
Those are big titles.
You know, okay, we have a system in our country that people will always judge you by how the world seems to really say people at your age should be looking like this. Like they say, if you are between 18 to 20, for you, you're lounging around, you're not working, you're just having fun eating food. But I'm feeling that you're taking strides that are bigger than your age.
Well, I actually say I have not had this not once, not twice, but then I embrace it because I'm one person who believes there is that common saying that maybe age is a number. I'm one person who believes someone, regardless of their age, regardless of maybe their situation, where they're coming from, they can really be able to bring a change. Being an engineering student and maybe being here in studio now talking about mental health among the youth and maybe what they can do about it, this is one intriguing thing to me. This literally shows me someone can be maybe doing law and does an impact in a society of engineering, does an impact in a society of medicine. I believe everyone at their age, everyone in any situation or any background, they can take on the mantle to bring an impact, to bring a change.
Yeah, I think it's creating your own world.
Exactly.
Young people should know, Farida, that you can create your own world, and I've always talked about this. In a world where everybody dictates how Farida has to be, please be the Farida you have to be according to Farida.
Yes,
you understand?
Yeah.
Because
So these lamentations of the government has not helped us.
And that's the problem we have as Africa, that we want to go with the entire narrative. But how beautiful would your story be, Farida, if it was just dictated by you? Because I'm giving you an example. You're not older than 25, I would love to think.
Not really.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
But in that time, you see there's an impact that this boy is creating. He's writing books from Form 6. But the problem is we wait to be productive after we are mature. So a normal Ugandan, let me not say Senuga, a normal Ugandan will start being productive at 26, 27, and then he will settle for a job, and that's when he's going to start being productive. But how would it be awesome when someone started to be productive at 12, at 10, natandika okuba kati ng'omwana wa Rooney Stars already are signing a professional contract with Manchester United. He's receiving money at that young age. So I think you should be an example, and maybe just tell Ugandans how you have been able as a young man, because I know young people are seeing you. How have you been able to reach at this point?
Yeah, like where do you draw your inspiration from?
How have you been able to do that?
So thank you very much. So basically, I've written 3 books. This is my 3rd book. My first book was Golden Arrow. It's also a poetry collection. My book inspired me to really do more in writing. That's how I reached now newspaper columnist and all that. I'm also proud to say I'm a publisher. I'm a publisher. I've published around 30 books for 30 young authors. I set up a publishing house called Iconic Publications, where we publish books it was all aimed at awakening the dreams of young writers. So at Iconic Publications, we published around 30 books from 30 authors from Africa. We've published books from Uganda, from South Sudan, then from Kenya. And we're really going ahead just in a period of 2 years. So how I really maybe say what I can attribute to this was my very first book. My very first book went ahead to win to win awards. Yeah, I was nominated in 2020 for 2021 for the Amul Forte Africa Literature Awards in Botswana. Then I went ahead last year to win the African Honorary Authors Award in South Africa. So that really motivated me. Someone as young as me, when I was really publishing my first book, I got very many hurdles and challenges. You reach out to someone, you're like, I have a book, I really have something I've put on paper. Maybe I really needed to reach the people. Someone tells you, no, go first make a name, come and we publish the work. But then that didn't become a discouragement. I said, this work is nice. I believe in myself. I believe the poetry I've written can make a change. Growing up, I grew up from not a very big school, but then my school used to embrace a reading culture. Far back, I come from Kabale, yeah, from a school called St. Paul's Seminary. It's actually a school where you go for priesthood formation. But then I actually didn't make it to priesthood. But one thing I can say that I really gained a lot from there was a reading culture. It was a school where we really had a very big library. Being a science student, maybe was doing physics, chemistry, and maybe mathematics. Whenever I could maybe just fail at that, I just delve into the other literature, to books. So that literally grew me into this field towards to date, where I'm now on the level of really helping people really write their work, publish their own work.
Wow.
Yeah, so this book has really moved me. It's one of the reasons I'm now featuring and collaborating with these other people. My second book was a collaboration with a friend from Botswana.
Okay.
Yeah, one Paula Oyemotukile. We sat down and wrote a book about culture of Uganda and Botswana. Yeah, so this is our third book that we shall be launching later on. I wrote it with 5 other friends from Fragments. Fragments is a poetry body which we are tending to register. It's a poetry body which we tend to register under the Poets Association of Uganda. We are looking at how the youth, through writing, can embrace an impact. Right now we are tackling mental health. We shall later on tackle gender-based violence. We tackle education to see how we can really give a hand to the government, to the civil society on bringing an impact to the youth and to the society.
Wow, okay. At least you may have missed out on being a priest, but you're here as a poet and a writer. So it all worked out well. So let's dive into the discussion. What is mental health for Ugandan out there seeing? Is mental health being mad? So please just help us and help us decide what mental health is.
Yes. So in my own understanding, maybe I could take mental health to be the state of a person's state of being maybe in the mind.
Okay.
We could maybe take mental health to be how someone feels, how someone really lives, and maybe behaves according to the situation around him.
Okay.
Yeah, it really I deter from that statistic of
14 million.
14, it was from 13th of May this year. 14 million Ugandans really being mentally sick. Yeah, it was of late actually I was reviewing back through that report by the New Vision. It really, they were talking about how the COVID-19 period, it really brought a setback in the lives of Ugandans. Yeah, it really brought a setback where you would find there is now an economic downslide. There is a lot to do with stress from the people. People are really trying to recover from that, everything that really happened in those bad days. Yeah. So this is how this literally came up. So, and remember, here in Uganda is one country. It's actually a global problem. It's a global problem where we are having mental health really not being catered for.
Yeah, I think it's just coming up as a new thing.
Yeah, in my culture, we even take mental health, someone who is really mentally ill, we take it to be a witchcraft issue. We take it to, so we have not reached that level where we are leveraging and maybe saying, let's cater for mental health maybe in hospitals. For example, here in Uganda, we have Butabika National, it's a referral hospital for mental health. But then, it's also for maybe a country with 14 million mad people. This is one hospital in a country where we have only, I've been looking at statistics, we have 32 psychiatrics in the whole country.
Yeah.
So this is one
again,
Farida
challenge that
wants
we
to
actually
say something.
I just want to ask you people, is it mental health being mad?
Do
Do you really want to term someone who is mentally ill as a mad person?
Well, not really. Mental health, I could actually even personally right now, I could even term mental health as being stressed, being overwhelmed. Personally, as a student who is actually at university, there are very many challenges as students that we go through. So we go through challenges related to maybe tuition. You find you have you barely have 2 weeks maybe to exam time, but then you literally don't have tuition. What happens? You find you cannot concentrate. You cannot really read your books. You cannot do anything. So you come in a state of like you're not really fine. Think about you've lost a parent. You really you're literally mad. So that's mental health too. That's mental illness to us.
Okay.
So in Uganda, we have really not reached a level where we are really catering a lot for it.
Okay.
Later on, maybe leave gender-based violence. Those are other things that really affect Ugandans in that instance. But then we also need to advocate more for mental health.
Okay.
The other day on Saturday, the whole world was celebrating the World Suicide Prevention Awareness Day. Yeah, we actually saw it being embraced here in Uganda. We saw a celebration in Barara, which was spearheaded with a run. Yeah, then we also saw here in Kampala at Chadondo Rugby Ground, we saw a run. Yeah, this shows a lot on how this is really being improved. But then we need more investment in mental health and catering for mentally ill people.
Okay.
Really, we are really going through a lot. There is a lot we need to do. Okay. Yeah, that's how maybe we need to empower the youth who really have the ability, who can really speak out to their fellow youth. We need to maybe bring out counselors out there, community counselors, to really talk to the people. Okay. Yeah, something like that. There is a lot to do in the society. There is a lot to do maybe in schools, in high institutions of learning, and out there.
Okay, we're going to talk about anxiety, depression, and the OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. And we're going to talk about the triggers. How do you discern depression and these mental health challenges? And of course, the role of literature in advocating for these particular rights. But before we do that, we shall be going in for a short commercial break. I am still with a gentleman called Daniel and a beautiful lady called Farida. My name is Edgar Matthew Karuhanga. Just 3 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's go in for a short commercial break and we shall be right back.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Fellow citizens, following the sequence of events, Uganda seems to be at political crossroads.
I'm not a servant of anybody.
Madam, I know the law.
As such, Alternative Digital brings you the Interface Show with retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besuje.
Let's keep on the same page on Alternative Digitalk,
As he gives you the alternatives on the transition question, rule of law, human rights and freedom, youth inclusion in governance, economic stagnation, as he confirms.
I'll be always here Saturday from 10 a.m. in the morning. Be there.
Don't miss the live discussion on the Alternative Uganda, Digitalk TV Facebook pages, and the Alternative Uganda YouTube channel.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
tuli mu kitundu kyaffe ekyokubiri mbaaniriza bannaye mu kino ekitundu mujja kubanga ate mutukubirako amasimu. We'll be reading some of the poems eziri mu eno collection. By the way, this is a poetry collection. It is a book, but I really want to know, why did you choose poetry to tackle? Because bano Uganda sookera ddala tebasoma ate bw'obawandiikira mu poem ate oba okisuusiza, because poems need some kind of concentration, and then you really need to read the poem and internalize it, because always their meanings are not surface meanings. It is rare to find a poem that has a surface meaning. Always you have deeper meanings of why you wrote such a particular poem. Aye tutunuulira wano Uganda okusoma tetukwagala nnyo, n'ekyokubiri tosobola kuwandiikira mu poetry. People hate poems. Not everybody
uses some people hate poems.
We are the lucky few. Okay, you are the lucky people who would really go into a bookstore and choose a poetry book.
No, just buy a book.
Buying a book is okay. I would buy a book talking about love, but buying a poetry book, really, because for us we used to read books to internalize it. I mean, for exams, I will be reading a poem in my free time, and I am reading a poem.
But then I also beg to differ from you. I can actually proudly say there is a growing wave of liking of poetry in Uganda.
By the way.
We are having very many good poetry authors who have really rose around there in the country. We are having from our body, the Poets Association of Uganda, we are having very many published authors coming up these days.
Okay.
Yeah, we are having very, very good authors.
Yeah, I actually hosted a poetry event recently in Bugolobi, and it was full. People came through and it had rained.
Wow, that's nice.
A passion for poetry.
Yeah, passion for poetry is actually coming, because poetry, personally, I believe in poetry is one better way, one good way in expression of oneself.
Okay.
I couldn't sit down and write a book about I'm an orphan, but then in just one page, in just 50 lines, in just 20 stanzas, I can actually sit down, express my very self, maybe from when I was born up to right now, talking about my very self. Yeah.
Okay.
So poetry becomes a very easier way to express oneself, a very easier way to put emotions on paper and to the people.
All right.
Yeah,
okay. I think before we continue, I want people to test some of your poetry.
Yes.
And I'm going to be reading a poem. I think we're all going to be reciting a poem, but we shall start with this one called Aborted.
Which page?
It is page 13, fragments. So let me recite for you a poem that has been written by Mr. Daniel Tusiimukye. It starts. Born of no mother of mine, died without a father, no one to put my life together, no dress my body in feather. I died with no name, without ambition, dream, and aim, with no admirer or single dame, all for reasons really lame. Living to smile was my wish, tasting bread, orange, and fish. At least living all life in a mesh, but then with the time for a single breath. For my life you cared less, and took me through the pain of death, and didn't ever open my mouth or get to listen to any sound in life. My heart is heavy and light, free from sin and guilt, with innocence though shattered, in a strange world in darkness built. By Daniel Tusiimukye. The name of the poem is Aborted.
Wow. Yeah. You actually really recited it so well. That's really nice recital.
I like the way poets do their thing. Do you have a poem ready there?
No, Edgar, you need to tell us the poem.
The poem is aborted, by the way.
No, yes, what is exactly the meaning of the poem?
Let me take the mantle.
Thank you very much.
So Aborted, what do you mean by these very, very peculiar lines?
So Aborted, I actually wrote this poem earlier on it was in February. Yeah, so I put myself in a shoe of someone who has been aborted, because the title is Aborted. Someone who is unborn. Yeah. I put myself in their shoes, their cry. I really had their cry, then went to paper.
Imagine.
Yeah, you really imagine now. Imagine you're really born of no mother of yours. Someone really aborts you out. That's literally not your mother. A mother is one person that really is your best friend, your last resort. Someone who really loves you. So someone really aborts you out and you're literally unwanted to them, that's not a mother of yours. So, born of no mother of mine, died without a father. You literally, you die with no father, because you've literally not even been born. So no one put your life together, nor dress your body in feather. So I died with no name, without ambition, dream and aim, with no admirer or a single dame, all for reasons so lame. This is poetry. It's really nice
I know
poetry.
it is poetry, but I really want you to relate these poems to the topic we are discussing.
Mental health. Yeah, mental health. Yeah.
My reasons for abortion are not lame, anyway.
They're really so lame. They're really so lame.
You're being against abortion, aren't you?
Very much.
But I really want you to relate that poem to the topic we are discussing.
So we relate this to mental health. We actually wrote this poem. We wrote this poetry. Our dedication to the book is it actually reads, we claim no super healing abilities, for we have been through the pain of loss and depression in one way or another. Through simple language, we hope that people going through this totem and taboo that aren't allowed to speak. So it's actually page 3 of index, page 3 of index III. So we actually through simple language, we hope that people going through this totem and taboo that aren't allowed to speak of can find a figment of peace and acceptance. So from this page till the last, we hope that somewhere in between the fine lines, we can find the strength to put the fragments back together. Having done an abortion, of course I haven't done one, and I don't think I will do one, but having done an abortion, there is maybe, I can literally say, there is a point where maybe a lady later on reverts and maybe say, I actually did wrong. I actually did wrong. Regret. What happens, of course, regression leads to depression. Regression leads to depression. Regression really leads to a state of where you find you're really hating yourself. You're hating all your decisions. You're hating all around you. So I put myself in the shoes of, yes, you've aborted, but then what do you think about the baby that you've actually aborted? Our poems are actually not very direct. Maybe it's a mental health thing I'm talking about. Come up and maybe do this to us. Come up and maybe guide us, counsel us. No, we put ourselves in the shoes of impacts, change. Abortion really brings depression. Once you get to regret your deed. Once you get to revert and maybe say, and oftentimes I really did wrong. Regret. Exactly. You actually get to regret. Maybe if you
even when you're a guy, you regret.
You actually regret. So I put myself in shoes of, in cries of that unborn child, unborn baby who hasn't really gotten to see the world, who hasn't really gotten to have a dream and aim and to really go to school and maybe, or even have a name. So this is how this poetry really runs and rhymes. The whole book, it's we have about maybe 50 pieces, but then they all really relate to this. A state where maybe someone is in that depression, in that disorder. That's really being maybe brought about by the situations and maybe what is actually living in. So maybe to the third stanza. So, living to smile was my wish. Tasting bread, all orange and fish. At least living all life in a mesh, but then with time for a single breath. So we all really live to, we all really have that wish to live.
Yes, of course.
Because even when I was aborted, but then maybe in my dream when I was maybe that under there, then I really had a dream to maybe change the world. We never really know someone that has been aborted would have been the next president, would have really been the next author of the book that would maybe have brought an impact. So someone really unborn would have wished to taste bread, to taste orange and fish, would have wanted to, at least even if they are really living all life in a mesh, all life really not moving straight and forward, but then have a time for a single breath. So this is maybe to the unborn, from the unborn child to the mother, saying, for my life you cared less and took me through the pain of death. I didn't even ever open my mouth or get to listen to any sound in life. My heart is heavy and light, So I actually didn't do literature in school, but then
there is a way you're juxtaposing and paradoxically doing things.
Exactly, man. I didn't do literature in school. I did physics, chemistry, and mathematics. Yeah, having also done biology at one time. I'm actually a doctor. I was a doctor at one time. Yeah, but then I actually didn't do literature, but then I find poetry an easy way to express oneself, an easy way to rhyme, an easy way to really bring that impact, because a rhyme is something one will actually like. A rhyme is something someone will give attention and interest. Yeah, so my heart is heavy and light, free from sin and guilt, with innocence, though shattered, in a strange world in darkness built. Yeah, so my heart is heavy and light. In literature, they call this, it's called oxymoron, where something is bittersweet, heavy and light. Yeah, like it's a literally device, a sweet pain. At our place in Kabale, we have drink called, it's called enturire. You people may not have it here. So enturire, when it has taken some time, like 2 days, 2 to 3 days, it starts getting sour. It's been sweet, yeah. It's been sweet because it's obushera, local obushera mixed with honey. But then after 2 to 3 days, it actually starts getting sour. Then what you actually do, you add more honey to something which was sweet, now sour. Then you add more honey, so it will become bittersweet. As you have it in the mouth, because of the raw honey, it's actually sweet. Like but then as you're swallowing, it actually gets sour. So it's an oxymoron.
It's
bittersweet.
Like relationships. You're happy to date tomorrow. Tomorrow is just going to delve into
I am not going to read another poem. We read one poem. We look at now maybe the causes, because we don't have time.
Yeah.
So we need to look at the causes of mental health. What is causing mental health currently?
Causes of mental illness. I'm going maybe to talk about, I always like to really talk from my personal experience and maybe what's basically around me. Yeah, I'm an engineering student going to my 3rd year at Makerere University, and I could maybe just use it in that arena. I'm one student that has been in university politics. I've been in leadership, and I've really just been a lot. I'm one person who really likes to be very active and to maybe bring a change wherever I am. Yeah, wherever I am, I really try to be analytical, visible, and really seen. Yeah. One of the things I've analyzed at Makerere University is, yes, there is that care. These people really care about our mental health. That's for my school, of which I maybe believe it could be maybe in other institutions of higher learning or maybe secondary schools. Yeah, we actually catered for at Makerere University, where we have a guidance and counseling office, so that every other student, maybe if let's say you have a challenge, you have anything that you maybe literally feel you need to share to someone who maybe isn't your friend, you just maybe get into to a counselor. But then also where a loophole comes in is that to date, having had the office there, and then personally who is going to 3rd year, who has been there for 2 years, I can literally tell you I've been going through challenges, but I've really literally never been to a counselor. Not that I don't want, but there is no sensitization. This is not only me, but it could basically be with everyone. I can assure you that maybe 80% of the students, even at Makerere University, don't know where that office is, of which it's a funded office. There are professional counselors. It's allocated a budget. They really have to do this job. But then students are really not sensitized about it. They don't know what to literally do when they have challenges, when they really have hard decisions to make. So you literally realize, yes, it's there, but then it's there maybe to just exist.
What happens in the first week when you report to universities? They take you around the university, show you where you meant to go for what particular purpose. Orientation. And I remember that during that orientation, I am a student of Makerere University. We were shown that office. It is there. The problem here comes in is that people don't go for orientation week. They only come for studies, and because you've gone only to study, you do not know where anything is. You are just there. You know where your lecture rooms are.
And actually also not going for orientation week also really brings you in a mental illness. Because for a university like Makerere, it's really a very huge place. It's a very huge, you'll actually spend, it will even take you a week if you're a freshman or a fresh woman in that first week. you literally get mad. You don't know where lecture rooms are. You literally don't know the place.
And I remember entering a third year lecture.
You're not alone.
For like 20 minutes.
You're really not alone. And I personally...
I saw everyone looking at me like...
And a person that I couldn't also, I also may not blame someone who really who didn't make it for orientation days, because this is the way. Imagine now someone like me who came maybe from Kabale. I'm not that we call it low-key, but then imagine someone who came maybe from Kabale. You new here in Kampala. Let's say you maybe had no relatives, no maybe friends to really take you through all that. So someone really even missing out on orientation. Couldn't be maybe their personal mistake, yeah? But then, still to this, I actually attended orientation. But then, I even remember they talked about mental health at university, but then that was the very last time I heard about this. Yeah, well, at university it's where they expect you to really be very old. You're an old person and maybe you can actually take care of yourself in everything. But then, some things really need a reminder every other time. If you're reminding me to pay my tuition, to pay my bills, or if so, remind me to get mentally well. Remind me, like, let's really have maybe student-based campaigns.
No intentional ways that
I feel
universities and people around have done to actually champion mental health?
I feel literally even live around university, we are not really doing enough. Enough really has to be done. Let people know this is how they can be helped. We've really gone so far. Let's now go to high school. We've all been to high school. High school as a place, well, where just maybe there you're under guidance, you're under care. They are really looking at you. It's not like university where you're just on your own. Yeah, but then also high school can also personally take an example. You have poor career guidance. You have poor career guidance. Let's say in high school you've taken up a combination and you're not actually passionate about it. You just go to class, you just see you're just doing the combination for mommy and daddy. You're just really studying to just be in school. What literally happens is everything really doesn't shift. Everything is really not moving. You really get depressed.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So we really need to let guidance and counseling start from very early stages.
But how
and let's really put an emphasis to this. As coming up and writing this book, we know Ugandans actually don't read. We know people really won't read. But then even by the virtue that we've written this book, of late we appeared in newspapers. I saw a newspaper in the UK write a story about Ugandan youth who wrote a book about this. We are now in a digitalized era where everyone is on phone. You can access everything easily. Finding up even a story about someone that you know, finding a Daniel that you know that you've heard of has written a book about mental health, it alone, not even reading the book, you'd actually realize there is a point to do with mental health. So
that means Africans have actually intentionally not worked on it. They say change, because that's why I want us to discern between change and overthinking and actually having a mental health challenge like depression and anxiety. Because there are some folks, you will sing
naye ekyejo tekireta bulamu.
Ayina kyejo.
No, ekyejo tekireta bulamu.
He wants attention. Have you met people like that who really just want attention?
Yeah.
That they are not. They're just wanting attention and drama. And I'm seeing a lady here has talked that brokenness has contributed a lot to mental health among the youth.
Yeah, true.
So
and employment.
Yeah, true. It's true. Because not only statistics, this can actually even be evidenced that the economy alone can really bring depression. Think about your
1.8 government nefulumya ati uliomba kubanja milioni
1.8 that was Sunday monitor 1.8 million.
And then the government says every Ugandan abanji kwa milioni.
Yeah, well, of course you may actually even not take that serious because what do I even have to do about it? But then even the economy alone, think about you're a sole breadwinner of a family. But then you're at a time maybe where you have to maybe pay school fees for your children, where you really have to bring bread at the table in family. You really want to be very fine when everything is really not moving so well. We've had the COVID-19 wave. It really brought a lot of difference. But then this could even stem from very far, not us caring about mental health. We've really had very many challenges in Uganda as a country. Think about maybe the northern Uganda in Lord's resistance war.
Yes,
it really brought a lot of challenges there. Think about the stigma that people really went through. Think about the even post that time, people are really still going through that depression.
Yes,
think about the child soldiers who were abducted through, in that time. Right now, they really even still get discriminated from the society for having been associated with that war. There is really a lot to do with underdevelopment, economy, the whole depression thing. It's really a lot, and this is really very serious an issue. Yeah, so there is a lot we can have to do out there. It's upon us as individuals, it's upon the civil society, it's upon the government, it's upon the NGOs that really have it in their means. Yeah, let's put out campaigns out there. The other time we had runs, and shout out to the people there that are really organizing these runs, organizing these campaigns. But then, right now, we really need to devise means. How can we maybe say we are bringing the mental health issue to
Do you really believe runs are an effective way to do sensitization?
Number one, yes. Yes.
Do you know that a few people knew about those ones you were talking about in Mbarara, Rugby? A few Ugandans knew about them.
Yeah, and this is what actually calls for that drift of, let's really make known these issues. Let's really make known whatever that's really affecting the Ugandans. Us as the youth, we are really getting involved into very many things that literally don't even help us. We are really getting into peer pressure, like we are really getting into use of substances, drugs, and alcohol. Think about how we could really sensitize the youth about this. Think about, right, we are really having a digitalized age where everyone, really, almost everyone, I think about the 20 million youth out there, we are reaching an age where everyone really owns a cell phone. This is a cell phone with we are having internet. It's really cheap enough and affordable. This is where we could maybe, let's say, we are using this digitalized age to really reach out to the people.
What is cheap enough? The internet?
Yes, sure. How about we have campaign? How about we really have campaigns? Let's say social media campaigns to really. How about we create platforms, online counseling, guidance and counseling. We're really having challenges. I've been personally in situations where I have very hard decisions to make, decisions that could maybe literally even be costing my entire life. But then I don't have anyone to talk to because I have no one I could trust. How about we have online counselors to really cater for all this among the youth? Because I personally believe someone that's really mentally well, that's a person that can really do his day-to-day work really very well and have everything really moving so smoothly. Very many of us and very many of the people out there, I believe, it really gets to be easier having challenges and wanting to solve them with even the people you don't know about, like someone really very new. Because we always, first, number one, you don't want to be judged.
Yes,
I feel, Edgar, if I really came to you, you're my friend, I'm telling you, man, I'm really so depressed, I aborted. You'll criticize me. You'll be like, what did you do? Look. But then having someone, an online counselor out there who really doesn't know me, who just maybe sees my picture, I could even just upload something, not me, I could really get counseling. He tells me, this is what you can do. This is how you can really settle out all this. This is how you can get out of that trauma.
But that would help. I remember last week someone came into my inbox. I do not know them. I have never seen them. Like, hi, I do not know you, but I just need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
I don't know you, but just give me time. And then she put her number. She was even a lady. I just need someone to talk to.
And I actually believe you can first get scared. You'll be like, oh, this is a but then later on, even rethinking it, you really say, let me help maybe this person. I've also been there where you find someone really at university comes to you and it's like, Daniel, I need your help.
I think it is easier because anyway, I get up.
Exactly. And these are the things we need. These are the things we need. We are having very young, youthful innovators out there. This is really very possible with us. There is a solution. Just use it because we are in an age where everything can really be made possible by the internet. Let's even not really go out there. Right now, everyone, when you wake up, many of us, first thing you do is check your phone, check your email, check your LinkedIn, what's really transpiring. But how about when you check your Twitter in the morning, the very first thing you see is a tweet from an organization, let's say maybe Reach a Hand Uganda. It's telling you this is what you can do. I've done some digital marketing before where you find if I'm really able to do a very good graphic, like it really costs, like it really brings me a lot of benefit. How about we do same for mental health? Do something eye-catchy, something that someone won't really miss up. Let's really have the way memes really be flowing online and maybe on WhatsApp and everywhere. Let's everyone really be sharing about let's really own the game. Because I believe a mentally well person is a person that really be well in everything that they really do. Think about us as students. By the way, you can be mentally ill that you literally don't know. The 14 million, I was actually reading through the 14.
14 million is a quarter of our population.
14 million, the report also said the 14 million, it encompasses the people that actually don't even know they are really not fine.
Yes,
I've ever been there and you're walking in the road and you meet someone and they are just speaking to themselves. Just that.
Last time twasanga omukyala walinga atambulira makati mukubo azini mukubo
and
she wasn't bothered at all. Yali atambulira wakati mukubo nge motoka ezihootinga nga atambulira tatunula mabega.
Yeah, people are really going through a lot. People are really going through. You literally don't know.
I was like oba afiridwa.
But okay, I want us to delve down into these mental health challenges, like obsession, because I've had people have obsessive compulsive disorder. This person, if they see food, they want food, they cannot live without the food. They
want things in a
particular way. You really overthink.
Yeah, because by the way, people may think that these things are just on the bigger picture, but they're small things.
They are small things. They're just in us, just around us. Like talk about anxiety, talk about depression.
Those things. I want to understand.
How does someone things even, by the way, even
how do I know that I am
ironing? They want their clothes to be
perfection,
ironed in a particular way. We're cutting up even the glasses. They want their glasses to be lined in a particular way. Even the bed, come and they have.
You would check the meza. You get like How do you like the bigger question is how do we diagnose to really know that Omanyi? Yes, I look normal. I come and I work on TV. How do I diagnose?
Like it's really not
how
fine.
How do you know like how do you know you have because we think
they can never know.
I don't know if it's just me, but I want to agree that there are people between their 25 to 30 there. There is that thing of overthinking that you have. I don't know if it's just me. You wake up and you start thinking and minds are going.
Like sometimes you're going to
like you really have, how do I know and you start overthinking,
it's just overthinking, just in the most
No, this is literally to everyone. I maybe who is a student, I'm actually one person who can actually at university, I'm really very busy. I'm here, I'm at church, I'm in choir, I'm now, I'm a leader, I'm a student leader. You find I'm now in poetry, I'm in publishing, I have books to read. I'm an engineering student, and it's an engineering student. So I'm one person that you maybe literally find like I really have to be everywhere.
Yes.
Now think about one morning I wake up. One morning I wake up and I find we have a test to do. At hostel where I reside, at all where I reside with a roommate who is a classmate, and I'm looking at him maybe every other day. He's literally reading and reading. But then you think about yourself. You think about yourself. You've really literally been a lot. It really beats your mind. Not that maybe even someone is influencing you to do that, but then it really beats your mind because you realize you're really not doing a lot.
And because
you have an exam, same paper. It's you, Daniel. You've really been here. You have your friends. They've just been on books and on down. You really don't get fine. You get what I mean?
Yes, I understand.
It's same thing where you'll find it's you if you haven't really ironed your trouser like that because you literally it's pressure around you, competition. you literally feel you don't belong to a society because you're really not doing something the way everyone is doing it.
Now let's look at the solutions.
Yeah,
What
because there's a
is-
gentleman who asked about the solutions.
Let's
here.
look at
Let me
the
even read
solutions
his
to
message.
mental health.
Yes.
This gentleman is called Kato, and he was saying, so as someone who has been in the sensitization of mental health, what are some of the causes, and you have pointed them out, that you have identified, and what are the possible solutions for this particular problem? So we are going to first look at how do people overcome anxiety, depression, addictions, obsessiveness, and things like that.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Mr. Kato, for your question. So one thing you're good enough, we've really pointed about every other thing to do with mental health. Maybe what you forgot was relationships. People, relationships really bring a lot of depression. They really bring a lot to deal with this.
Mental health, yes.
Yeah, so one thing I can always say, one very bright thing, and every bright situation and every bright the biggest solution everyone can always do when they have a challenge is talking to people. I can actually tell you, keeping something to yourself and to your very self, it's suicidal. It's really very suicidal. Think about you're having a challenge, let's say to deal with let's say small relationship.
You've been chucked.
You've been chucked, or it's literally always very hard to bear. It's hard to bear, but then think about when you just go talk to someone, whether you nail them or not, they really, like, you own the challenge together. Yes, they are really not facing what you're facing, but then you're trying to bring someone into your problems, and you're trying to make it half-half. Them just listening to you, even if they really don't give you a solution.
Communication.
Yeah, basically that's it.
And I've realized when you don't communicate about a challenge, it kills you, and often you may have got a wrong assertion or a wrong ideology of what you thought.
Yeah,
because you have a problem with Farida and you have not talked to Farida yet. And you start being gloomy all of a sudden, you start overthinking things. And yet Farida may have mentioned a statement, but she wasn't actually meaning what you thought she was meaning. And when you sit down and actually resonate and talk to Farida, you get to realize that, hey, it was not as I had perceived it in the first place.
Exactly.
And oftentimes we find ourselves saying, there was no need for actually a separation, but there was need for just clarity to find out, I think this is what she meant, and it gives you a bit of calmness in your heart at the end of the day. So when you talk about the thing of communication, really, please communicate. Communicate with your friends, communicate with your partners, communicate with your people. Just speak out what you feel.
Communication, really checking on your people. Like if you really have friends, you realize they're really going through a lot there. Be it, let's say, I like to always maybe talk about university because that's literally where I am right now. It may not relate to maybe people who are out there, maybe not around there, but then this is something that's really very general and global. But think about maybe you're at university or maybe in high school, you're coming for lessons or lectures, but then you realize a friend is really missing. Missing day one, day two. You realize you have to check on them. Someone may really be going through a lot. Maybe they've really lost a friend. They are going through depression, abortion. So checking on friends, really getting to really sharing with each other. Then maybe another thing I could point out is personally, I'm one person who has also undergone this. I really underwent depression in my COVID-19 days. That came in a time where I was in my Form 6 vacation. One of the reasons I even sat down to write my first book. So I really went through a lot of... It was not a lot. I was really not being mistreated or anything. Just that I was not in a relationship or that. But then that state of being hopeless. Looking at yourself, I just finished high school. Am I really going to university? What courses? And it's very natural, by the way. It's very natural, very normal. But then one of the ways someone can really revert and maybe say, I'm avoiding this, getting yourself busy, getting to write books, get to be with friends, get to be in clubs. Clubs, I mean movements, peers, where you guys are really talking about social, let's say, important issues. Be with people, be around people. Join, if you're at university, don't really be alone. Join choir. join debating clubs, join poetry clubs. Yes, you may really not be very good at anything, but then just choose one thing where you really can fit. Because being alone, it's one of the things that could really you have a challenge, it triggers you to think about suicide, because literally you have no friend to talk to. That's literally the only solution you think about. Because statistics even show that out of 20, 16 of the people are people who have just really been alone and literally feel suicide, taking one's life, is the very solution to that challenge that you have actually had. So I literally feel being around people, getting to really be involved, having no time for your own self, having no time to degrade yourself. It really takes you up, and you find you can really do better. Be around people, talk to them, be active, be proactive. Yeah. So another thing maybe that us the youth maybe can do is take upon the initiatives really done by other people. You realize you're really not fine, but then you have, let's say us who have a guidance and counseling office, make use of it. I personally may really be knowing about it. I've actually not been there. Of course, it's not that I don't get depressed, but then I've not been there. But then, if I would maybe have been there to those, or I could even have gotten better issues on, maybe better solutions to all my challenges. I could be there, I really get inspired to maybe even reach out to my friends. So maybe getting to really use all those opportunities we have.
Because no kukkiriza nti I have a problem.
Yeah, accepting that
it starts with accepting.
It starts with accepting, because if you not
accepting you have a challenge, you have a problem,
you will not look for in your head.
Yeah, you actually believe.
Abamu ba pretending, they will get out of home, come here, laugh, but when you go home, you break down.
Yeah,
it shows you have a problem.
You're right, by the way. Do you know, we keep up appearances, but when you go where these people sleep, you wonder,
people are crying in their beds. Nenga ulufulumanga amaziga makeup nga smiling.
Because of late, I was actually reading a report. I was actually reading a certain report by it was an intern who was doing her internship from Butavika. So she wrote about something to do with challenges related to people they are treating there who are mentally ill. She pointed out something that those mentally ill people, if you really go to Butavika Hospital, if you believe you're mentally ill,
you will click.
You'd actually get better. But then if they take you by force, if they really take you by force, it will actually take you longer. Because first, number one, you're like, how could someone really bring me to Butavika of all hospitals? Because you know it's a hospital for the mad. It will actually take you long to heal. But then embracing your very own self, knowing I'm not fine, maybe I actually went through this and I need to be helped. That very ardent call of, yes, I'm not fine, I now really need to be better. Okay. It really triggers you to be fine. Even someone who's really maybe treating you up, or maybe let's say you're not fine, but then knowing I have a problem and I need a challenge and I need to be helped. It really triggers you to go out to your mates, to go out to your people, to go out to a counselor. As maybe you are believers, it even helps you maybe to go to your pastor or your priest or maybe your imam.
Pastors are some of our therapists.
They really help. I'm a Christian, and whenever I'm really having a challenge, I take it up. I told you I was in a seminary where at one time I really wanted to be a priest. I really still value that call in me, in that I really still credit the person who really took me there, because I take a priest or someone who is really religious. I take him as someone who can really help me in almost all situations. They help, because you can maybe say you're having a challenge with in your marriage. You maybe say, how will I even go to a Catholic priest who hasn't been in marriage? But then I, who has really been there in that priesthood training, even at the lower level that I was, these people are really trained. Priests are trained to really deal with these challenges. A priest won't really be married, but then this is one person going to a reverend father with a challenge related to church. They will solve this because they have done philosophy, they have done psychology, they have really done all this.
They will help you.
These people really help. So talk to people, find the right people to talk to. Of course, they are really wrong people. You can't really be having a challenge with alcohol You literally feel like you should
And
really
go ask your
stop
friends
doing
in the bar.
alcohol. Then you go to the bar to find a solution.
All right, I just
It really doesn't help out.
Well,
Not your drunk friend.
or your drunk friend will understand you. Yes,
No,
they
they will
will
not
say,
understand because for them, they don't find anything.
it's a joke, guys. I just started 8 minutes past 8 a.m. We are having a few minutes to the end of this particular discussion. We are still having a gentleman called Tusiimukye Daniel. He is an author, a poet, and of course a mental health activist right here on Digitalk TV. You are still enjoying the Mighty Drive. My name is Edgar Matthew Karuhanga. This show happens every Monday to Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. every day. Your whole is here breaking down and having a conversation with Uganda. And we believe these conversations that we are having will mold Uganda and make it better at the end of the day. You too can join the conversation. Feel free to call us live. The numbers will be rolling on your screen. MTN is 0789-017-145. They will be rolling and you'll be able just call in live and send us your messages, your text, and just talk to Mr. Daniel and maybe ask a question where you need help, and he'll be able to give you clarity on that particular issue. Now, he has been painting a picture of the mental health that is happening in Uganda and how many young people are being affected by mental health, and of course, many of them keep to themselves, they don't talk, and they suffer with depression, anxiety, and some have actually committed suicide. According to statistics, over 700,000 people have committed suicide in just last year alone. That means this is a cry that we should actually be championing at the end of the day. Now, what this gentleman is doing and his colleague is that they are championing mental health through poems, and they have published a book. It is called Seasons, and it comes from the Fragments, which is a poet, a poet group that is a poetry group that is helping these young people be able to champion these particular conversations. So you can grab yourself a copy from this gentleman at just 20,000 UGX. Just call in, and he'll be able to give you these poems, and you can read them throughout your day to actually make sure that you are well conversant and at par with this particular conversation. So as we come to the end of this discussion, I want us to talk about something that is very pertinent, Mr. Tusiimukye. The issue of stigmatization of people with mental health. People have not come out to communicate because they think that when they communicate, they shall be judged, and oftentimes they are judged.
Sure.
You're a man. How do you cry?
How do you say you're beaten by your wife?
You're beaten by your wife.
Yeah.
So it feels like when you come out to speak, society looks down at you and like, Daniel, what can we do about the stigmatization of, how do you think stigmatization has affected our fight for mental health or for people who are mentally healthy at the end of the day?
Yeah, so thank you, Edgar. Well, we actually we are living in a, I can maybe first say we are living in a state or maybe in a society where it's still so much, we still really believe in culture. Yes, we've evolved digitally, we've evolved technologically, but then we still believe a lot in culture.
Yes.
So you see, issues to deal with mental illness in many cultures like mine, I'm a Muchiga, but then these people will refer to it as witchcraft. That's number one. They will refer to it as curse. Someone who is mad, in some situations, they really believe you've been cursed, you've been bewitched. And we also have reached a situation where people don't, first of all, number one, want to associate with people who are really related to that. Even if you even get well, there is that feeling from the people. People even actually realize and believe this thing is all contagious. People will even fear even getting closer to you. They are already chasing you. And even in some societies, they even get to maybe, let's say, excommunicate you from your place.
Yes.
Because you're mad and you find you have to really go and stay out there. But then, how can someone really deal with this? If you're really going through a challenge, if you're in your home, you're undergoing gender-based violence, if you're maybe at university, you have challenges with tuition. We've been at university where we find at times we're really doing drives and making sure we get tuition for our friends who really don't have enough.
Yes.
But then you're really going to keep quiet. You're not going to sit for papers. You're really not going to graduate at the end of the day. So, well, it actually takes a lot of boldness.
Yeah.
Someone waking up. Strength. Someone really waking up one day and saying, hey, I'm going through this. Think about you as a man waking up and going to your people, to your fellow man and saying, hey, I'm really being beaten by my wife. Who can do that? But then it actually takes boldness of which is boldness for an impact, boldness to change yourself, boldness for the better, boldness to really help yourself and help yourself in really what you're doing, fighting for yourself. Yeah, let everyone like own themselves. You feel it's only you.
Yeah.
If it's not you that's really going to run for your life, no one else will. You actually feel when you commit suicide, people are really going to lose. No, life is going to move on. People are really going to eat. They will party. They will do everything.
I actually think they're hurting the person that hurt them. But also, let's talk about the signs that people should look out for. Like when Zirabo Mania, you have a mental problem.
Red flags.
Those red flags.
Red flags. We've actually even pointed very many of them around here. There is even a situation where you find you're having no challenge, you're having no problem,
but you just feel not okay.
You just feel. I wrote here a poem. I wrote here a poem. It's titled "Make Me Younger Forever." Someone, you're just a lady. You're just there. That it was in that. It's on page. It's on page 9. Page 9. So you're just there. You feel I'm really growing. I'm really aging. But it's very natural, very normal. It's really very normal. I can tell you this. But then you just be there. It's what you call OCD. You just
compulsive
disorder. It's really a disorder in you. So make me younger forever. I'm just going to recite it in 1 minute. But then it actually points out someone. Yes, they're really not having a challenge. But then deep inside you, this is where talking to people, really being around people, being engaged really comes in. Because yes, you may even not be having any challenge, no problem on you. But then deep inside you're really feeling demotivated. You're really thinking a lot. So it actually reads, make me younger forever. My life knows convenience not. My ear knows sorry not. My tongue knows sweet not. My bed knows sleep not. The life laws are so unselective and leave my body too hypersensitive. Death is the dream in my sleep so creative. I live every day in a worry, afraid of that day when my face will be wrinkled and my breasts from tightness part, when my hair will start to gray and people won't need me for a night, when my chest will no longer be best and onto it no one will want to rest, when my back will not be straight and then support will be the quest, when my lips will be dry and on them my soul won't be sold. Wow. Oh Lord, let this never happen. Make me every day happy. Take my age and give me more days. Make me younger forever. Wow. Give me age of a baby. Give me the face of a princess. Give me joy of a queen. Give me the smile of a sunrise. Yeah, so written by Daniel Tusiimukye.
You've actually given the sunrise a smile.
Yeah, a smile of a sunrise. Because, okay, this is in a situation where you're a lady, you're having no problem, but then you start overthinking. I'm wishing one time when my face will be wrinkled and my breasts will from tightness part, when but my hair will be...
think about it because...
Very much. You start thinking of when your hair will turn to gray and people won't need you for a night, when my chest will no longer be best and don't to eat, no one will want to rest. When
I love poetry.
When my back won't be straight and I will need support, I will need a walking stick. When my lips will be dry and onto them my soul won't be sold. You see, poetry is really very nice. The word kiss, it may really never appear anywhere, yet the poem is all about something. And onto it my soul won't be sold. So you reach a point you're having an obsessive compulsive disorder where you're just really thinking. It's very repetitive, day in, day out. What do you need? Be cheerful. You really need cheerful people around you.
Yeah.
Like, be around people. Use counselors. We are really having a situation where these are really very available. Talk to people. Talk to someone you don't know. Just grab a number from anywhere. Talk to someone. Most of us who are really good-hearted.
And by the way, there is a way it helps. That person will not back at you. They will, for as long as they hear you as a stranger and you just need to open up to someone.
You don't know someone.
They might even give you some money.
Let me read a couple of messages coming to the idea as we come to the end of this discussion. A gentleman called Rogers, he says, anyways, I think we Africans and Ugandans in particular have not recognized the importance and relevance of mental health and counseling. True. I think we need to do much sensitization, otherwise people will be running mad because trust trust me, if someone is not attended to, it gets bad, and we have lost a lot of young people to suicide because there was no one to listen to them. And then we have Ashura, who says, good morning from my side. Thank you for the program. She wrote it for the problem. Thank you for the program. Watching live from Kapchora Town. Thank you so much, Miss
nice.
Ashura. Alan Nevins is already live. He says, Guten Morgen.
Nice.
We have Brooke Williams, Chikomeko Lule. We have Musimenta. We have Namirembe. We have Mutale Farouk Hussein. Thank you so much, Mutale, for always watching us. Carlos, Young Fortunate, and Pierre Patrick Musinguzi. How are you, MP Musinguzi? MP Musinguzi is always watching. I have Dickens Sleeve here. Then this one says, hey, so you can forget about your mental wellness and another person has to remind you.
Yeah.
Yes, you forget. You forget that you have a problem. So as you come to the end, just talk about the book and how various Ugandans can get this particular information.
Yeah.
Bookshops
Weziri Sente Meka, and just talk about what you do and
what you can discount.
What you can discount.
Yeah.
Digitalk also likes discounts.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Thank you very much once again and again for giving me the opportunity, giving us the opportunity as Fragments to come around Digitalk TV to talk about our book project and to really bring the good news out there that's really catered for in regarding to mental health. Yeah. This book is a book by 6 poets. Yeah, we are really very good at this, I can assure you. Yeah. The book is available in all. It will be available in all leading bookshops countrywide.
It's called Seasons, right?
Seasons, yeah. Seasons. The subtitle is "I have silence is buried so deeply, I weep when they blossom."
Yeah.
Seasons.
It is black in color. It does not have a prologue behind. So the fact it is just this.
It's very just dark. It's mental health. Mental health. Yeah, we didn't do a prologue. It's all inside here. The preface, they are already inside. Yeah. This is our book. We thank the team for giving us an opportunity to really share it with you. It will even be online on Amazon, wherever you are in South Africa, in Kenya, my friends in South Sudan. You'll actually get it on Amazon. It will be there available. It goes for 20,000 Ugandan shillings, and a soft copy goes for 15,000. Yeah, you know, it's actually always not ethical to give books out in soft copies, as people will go and now duplicate.
Yeah, sure.
But then I promise you, a soft copy cannot be printed. For us, we are catering for copyright issues. Our soft copy it's actually well designed. Unfortunately, I didn't really bring one with myself, but then it's really very designed. Every other poem has illustrations. Wow. So yeah, we really tried this because we want to make our poetry so engaging. Yeah, so the book is available, will be available in all leading bookshops. We just finished out the whole process of late. Yeah, kindly follow us up, kindly share to your friends. This is a book for us. It's not a project for me. We are really doing this for charity. Funds from this book will go to charity. Yeah, this I promise you, I'm not getting 100% or anything, 0% profit from this book, but then we're really doing this for charity. We are doing this for Uganda. We are doing this for the youth. Yeah, maybe now that I've really gotten a chance, we also have other books. My other book, Golden Arrow, it's on a monthly discount. I'm actually having a birthday on same day next week. So yeah, so being my birth month, I always want to give out my book. Yeah, it goes for 50,000, but then I always give a discount to 10,000. Yeah, so I sell my book for 10,000. It's a nice book. I promise you, it has very many also things to do with gender-based violence, mental health. Bookshops? Yeah, it's available in bookshops. It's available in bookshops. Golden Arrow. Yeah, it's one of the books that have really motivated me. I actually got to feature in the. I featured in the World Record Golden Book earlier on in India. And they actually really liked the book from Uganda. They liked one thing they liked about it was I didn't bring the book here, but then it has the cover which really shows. On the cover we designed a crying tear, but the tear was crying tears of gold. So the tears were gold, then the title is Golden Arrow. It actually spoke my mind when I was in COVID-19 days, all that I really went through. You realize all the work is really about mental health. So the book is really also very fine. It relates to the topic. It really relates to mental health. It relates to improvement, really being oneself and getting to really be inspired and do all that you literally feel you can do. Yeah, then later on as I conclude, I maybe say to the youth out there, it's our time now. It's our time to stand up and shine. It's our time to bring an impact. It's our time. Let's really not wait for civil society. Let's really not wait for government. Let's not wait for those in power. It's upon us. It's in our mantle. If you find you can really write a book out there to reach out to the people, write a book. Let's really do charity. Let's really help our friends out there. Let's move together. So I leave it upon you to do that change. Let's work together. Let's be there. Thank you very much.
All right. The people in power are still fighting nyege, so don't worry about them. Find your parting shots.
Edgar was
I want to show him where the people in power are putting their emphasis. They are fighting nyege.
Mental health is there. Mental health, people are living with healthy issues. Nadala mentally, nadaba ina compulsive disorder. You do not know you have mental health issues, but for sure that is a mental health issue. But you open up. Open up is the first step to getting helped. Is opening up to people. Like, we cannot sense you have a problem. And when you open up, like, we can maybe give a solution. Like, everyone goes through that. You know, sometimes when you are going through a problem and then you hear some other person has also gone through that, and there is a way you can kuguma with it. Like,
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. At just 5 minutes to the top of the hour, of course, we have having Take Achi happening after this particular show at 11 a.m. We shall have Mr. Kanso Kato, the advocate with the High Court himself, talking about the law. And we're going to be having a special guest on that particular show. Don't miss out. At 11 a.m. this particular morning today, you're going to be having Take Achi airing there. And tomorrow we shall return with the Mighty Drive at 7 to 9. The ladies are always here, and spearheaded by Miss Farida Bikobere and Lillian Nuwede. They're here talking about, you know, the different things that are happening in the country. It's always a Woman Crash Wednesday, so the ladies take the driving seat. I would love to thank you for coming through. So it was an honor having you here.
Thank you very much.
Profoundly honored to have you. And Farida, thank you so much. Kato, thank you for being on camera. Rogers today, thank you so much for the production. And Ted Tenjuna, thank you so much. Till we meet again, and that will be tomorrow, same time, same station. My name is Edgar. Let's talk poetry. Yeah, Seasons is here. It really really tokera bila 20,000 EGX. Support these young people because they are doing tremendous strides. My name is Edgar. Good morning, Uganda.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.